and welcome to day 3 of your training on the Reset program. I'm Nicole and I'll be taking you through your workout. So we are going for strength and we're going for full body, but first we are going to start with some mobility. So we're going to head to the mat and just open up the body and get a little bit loose before we get into the workout. So starting on all fours, we're going to go for a cat-cow, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, so lifting the head up towards the ceiling, arching the back and then curving the spine, so opening up the spine as much as possible, head up towards the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears, and one more time, shoulders away from the ears here, and coming back to a neutral position. We're going to go for some hip rotations, so nice big circles with the knees, 3 circles one way, and then we're going back the other way. So nice big circles, opening up the hips, getting them nice and loose, and swapping over. So nice big circles, so really drawing a nice big O with that knee. 3 reps on one side, on one way, and then going the other way. And 2 and 3. So going into a hip flexor stretch. So pushing in to our left knee and opening up the right hip flexor. Hands behind the back, lifting the chest, pushing a little bit deeper in to that stretch. So deep breath in, and breathing out, pushing into that left knee, opening up the right hip flexor and swapping over, keeping those hands behind the back. Deep breath in, breathing out, pushing into that right knee, opening up the left hip flexor. Deep breath in and breathing out. One last time, deep breath in and breathing out. So coming down to the floor, we're just going to open up the hips a little bit more. Left hand comes down first. We're going to lift the left knee and then twist round to the right. So lifting up, opening up the hips as much as possible. Last breath here and swapping over. So we're having the left hand, the left leg over and the right hand down the floor, lifting up the left hand and twisting round. Deep breath in. Straightening that back leg if you can, and breathing out. So let's get into the workout. So we are going to start with our plie squat and a single arm row. So we're going to be using weights for this workout, and with the squats it's pretty similar to when we did our goblet squat in the beginning. However, instead of having our dumbbell up here, we're going to have the weights down here and we're going to take a slightly wider stance. So if you look from the side, you'll be able to see that I'm still coming down into that same squat position, but my feet are just a little bit wider and keeping the heels down on the floor. So sending the knees right out like a plie, and the weights are going to come down in the middle of the legs this time. So a nice wide stance, wider than hip width. The weights are going to come in the middle of the legs and you're going to come down in between here and then driving up. 3, 2, 1 and driving up. And then with our single arm row, we just need one of the weights. We've got one leg in front, opposite arm is going to hold the weight. So toes facing forwards. We're going to have a little hinge at the hip. We're going to bend into that front knee and we're going to pull the weight in to the back. Slowly release the arm. Pulling into the back, up, 3, 2, 1, 2, come down. So those are the main teaching points of both of those exercises. So we're going to do 14 reps of each exercise and we're going to do 2 sets. We'll have a minute's rest in between and we're going to go straight into the plie squat first. So grabbing both of your weights or your cans if you're using cans. So feet are wider than hip width and we're coming down into that plie squat. So standing up nice and tall and coming down. So dropping the weights down between the legs and 1, 3, 2, 1 and 2, 3, 2, 1 and 3, coming down deep into that squat as deep as you can, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7. So keeping those weights between the legs, and 8, good, last 6 reps, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, and last one, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So we're dropping one of the weights down and we're going for our single arm row. So we'll start with our left hand. Left hand is usually weaker than the right for most. So toes facing forwards. We have a small bend in the supporting leg, so the right leg. So you're going to hinge from the hip, nice flat back, and you're going to pull the weight up into the back. 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4. Use the breath. 3, 2, 1, and 6. So breathing in on the way down and out on the way up. And 8, 3, 2, 1, and 9. Keeping that flat back position. And 10, 3, 2, 1. Last 4. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Squeezing into the back. And 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. And swapping over. So we've got our left leg forward, our weight in our right hand, and slight bend in that left knee. We're going to hinge at the hip, and we're going to go in for our single arm row on the right side. And 2, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Squeezing into the back muscles. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7. We're halfway through. And 8, 3, 2, 1, and 9, 3, 2, 1. Big squeeze. Using the breath. The last 4. 3, 2, 1, and 3. Good. Last 3 reps. Pull into the back. And 2, and last 1, and 1. So let's have a little breather there and just talk about some of the points of each exercise, the main points that make it you know that you're in the right place. So with the single arm row, we want to make sure that our chest is lifted as much as possible. Even though we're in a hinged position, we still want to make sure that we're not letting the shoulders drop. And then as soon as I let my shoulders drop here, the lower back starts to get involved. So we want to make sure that we're lifting and we've got a nice flat back position. We also want to make sure that we're squeezing into our lats. The way that we can do that is by squeezing the elbow into the back here and keeping it nice and close to our waist as we're driving the weights up. Squeezing in here. Then we get that connection in the lats. With the glutes, with the squats, we want to make sure that we are squeezing our glutes a little bit at the top. So there's a little bit of controversy as to whether you should be squeezing your glutes at the top. I think you can, and I think it really helps. So coming down into the squat here, and then as you drive up, a tiny squeeze through the glutes at the top of the movement. So 3, 2, 1, and then coming up, a little squeeze. And if you see from the side, again, I'm keeping the posture nice and tall, not letting my shoulders drop. So as I'm coming into that plie squat, my chest is still lifted and I'm not here. So those are the main teaching points of both exercises, and we're going to do one more set of each one. So going back into the plie squats first. So again, the weights are just hanging between the legs, and think of the legs doing the work, and that usually helps. Even though we have the weights in the hands, if you think of the weights, the legs as being the primary, the prime focus of the exercise, rather than focusing on keeping hold of the weights here and feeling like, you know, it's a lot of effort. So think about the legs doing the work. They're nice, big, strong muscles that are able to take it. So going through it, let's go for our 14 reps. So taking our time, 3, 2, 1, and 1, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 3, little squeeze, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, halfway through, so that little squeeze at the top, and 8, good, last 6 reps, and 6, so come deep down into that squat as much as you can, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, last 2, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So we're going into our single arm row. So again, feet facing forwards, and we're hinging from the hips. So nice flat back position, chest lifted, and then we're going to take the hips over. So sending the hips backwards that way, and then pulling the arm into the back. 3, 2, 1, and 2, use the breath. 3, 2, 1. Breathing in on the way down, out on the way up. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1, and 8. Good, we're nearly there, last 6 reps. And 6, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Last 2 reps, use that breath. And last one. And swapping over to the other side. So we've got our left foot forwards, we've got a little bend in the left knee, and we're hinging from the hips, nice flat back position. So pulling into the lats, 3, 2, 1, keeping that elbow close to the body. And 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4, using that breath. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, breathing in on the way down, out on the way up. Last 4 reps. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So let's take a little breather before we move on to the next set of exercises. So grabbing a little bit of water, catching your breath again, and getting ready for the next exercises that we're going to do. So the next ones are our deadlift and our floor press, which both exercises, all these exercises complement each other really, really well. Because usually we're going for upper and lower, so we can give one part of the body a little bit of rest and move on, but it's also really good for blood flow as well. So body moving blood from one side of the body right down to the other side. So main teaching points for the deadlift are, it's not too dissimilar to the single arm row in the sense that we are hinging from the hips again. So we're here, nice flat back position. We're going to keep the dumbbells close to the legs, and I think this is the biggest point. Sometimes people try and do a deadlift from here, which means that we've got more chance of our shoulders curving and not having that control over the weights. The closer to the body that they are, the more control we have over the weights. And it also means that we keep that flat back position. So we're here, we let the weights come down the legs, and then we're driving up, a little bit of a squeeze in the glutes at the top. With the floor press, we are keeping that 45-degree angle with the weights. So we're here on the chest and then pushing out here. So elbows stay at this 45-degree angle and pushing straight out here. So let's get into our deadlifts and our floor press. So grabbing the weights, we are going to go for 14 reps. And we're starting with our feet slightly wider than hip width and a little tiny bend in the knee. We give a hinge from the hips, take the dumbbells down to the legs. We're going for 14 reps. So taking that time, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Again, thinking of the legs doing the work rather than the arms. And 2, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Taking that time, using the breath. And 4, breathing in on the way down, out on the way up. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7. You should feel the hamstrings as you go down. And 8, nice stretch in the hamstrings. And 9, 3, 2, 1, and 10, and thinking of sticking the bum out like we said on day 1. 3, 2, 1, and 12. Good, last 2 reps. Using that breath, breathing in and breathing out. So we're gonna go straight into our floor press, which we have to lower down to. So we wanna go straight up with the weights. So here, and then up, and then we're gonna lower down into that floor press. So elbows coming right the way down, move over a little bit, and then coming up. 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 3. Thinking about the shoulders being away from those ears. So keeping the neck nice and long, keeping that space. 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1. Little bend at the top. 3, 2, 1, and 9, 3, 2, 1, and 10, 3, 2, 1, and 11. We're nearly there. Last 3 reps. You can use the breath. Breathing in on the way down, and out on the way up. And last one. Nice. So let's have a little breather again and just talk through the main teaching points of the deadlift and the floor press. So with the deadlift, we want to make sure that, like I said, the legs are doing the work. So as we start to increase the weights, it's going to start to get a little bit heavier in the hands, and it really helps to focus the attention on the legs and let the legs take the load, and just let the hands hold the weights pretty loosely and really drive through the legs, especially when we start lifting heavier. We're in this position and driving up. With the floor press, it's important to keep that space between the ears and the shoulders. As we go through the set, we can get tired and the shoulders can start to raise up. But then we come out of alignment, elbows come up here, and what we want to do is just keep that space. We want to keep that nice posture, and we want to make sure that we're moving through the chest and everything else is aligned. So let's go back into our deadlift and floor press. Last time, 14 reps each one. Let's get it done. So we're starting with our feet a little bit wider than hip width, tall chest, nice posture, sending those hips back, coming down the legs, feeling through the hamstrings. 1, 3, 2, 1, and 2. Breathing in on the way down and out on the way up. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5. So pushing those feet down into the ground. And 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7. We're halfway through. Last 7 reps. And 7, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 5. We're nearly there. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, and last 1, and 1. So coming down onto the floor for our last floor press, and we're going straight up with the weights. The reason we go straight up is because when the weights start to get heavier, it's going to be really hard for us to push up from this position with them. So we want to go straight up here. So starting from the top, lowering down into that 45-degree angle, pressing up. 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1. Use the breath. 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7. Good. We're nearly there, halfway through. And 8. Keep that space between the shoulders and the ears. And 3, 2, 1, and 10. 3, 2, 1, and 11. Last 3 reps. And 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1 and 1. So deadlifts and floor press complete. We're moving on to the next set of exercises. So the next set of exercises we are going to do are a reverse lunge and shoulder press. So with the reverse lunge, we want the feet hip width apart, and we're going to take the foot back into a lunge position, knee just off the floor. We're going to go for 14 reps, and we want to make sure, as always, that the weight is in the foot that's in front. So not too much weight on the back leg. So the front leg is our working leg, the back leg is our supporting leg. And with the shoulder press, we are gonna be in a 45-degree angle here with the elbows coming up straight above the head, using the ears as a guideline, pushing straight up. So let's get into it. So we're starting with the right leg first. So right leg is front and the left leg is back. It's coming down into that lunge. And 2, using that breath. And 4, and 5, and 6, so back knee just off the floor. And 7, halfway through. And 8, and 9, we're nearly there. Use that breath. And 10, and 11, last 3 reps. And 3, and 2, and 1. So swapping legs over. Again, hip width apart with the feet and taking the right leg back. So using that breath as we come down into that lunge. And 2, and 3, and 5, and 7, halfway through, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12, last 2 reps, and 14. So we are going straight into those shoulder presses. So we're taking the weights up, straight up, nice straight arms, coming down to the ears, using that breath. And 2, breathing in on the way down, and out on the way up. And 4, and 5, use that breath. And 6, and 7, engage in that core. And 8, and 9, nearly there. And 10, last 4 reps. And 4, last 2. And 1. Good, and coming down, let's have a little breather. Let's shake it all out. Get rid of a bit of that tension before we go through the last and final set of reverse lunge and our shoulder press. So with any single-sided leg exercise, it's always going to feel quite hard. Any kind of lunge, any kind of single leg deadlift, walking lunge, they all feel a lot harder because legs are a big muscle group, and working on one side of anything is pretty challenging. So it requires a lot more energy. So if you're finding it hard, then that's fine. That's good. That's where we should be. So let's go into our final set of lunges, and then we'll go straight into the shoulder press again. So grabbing those dumbbells and then coming to the front of the mat, we are going to take the left leg back first. So coming back into that lunge. And 1, and 2, and 3, using the breath, and 5, and 6, engage in that core, keeping that balance, and 8, and 9, and 10, last 4 reps, and 3, and 2, and 1. Whew. And going on to the last side. So coming down into that left leg. And 1, use the breath. And 2, and 3, and 4, getting through it. And 5, deep breath in. And 6, and 7, and 8, over halfway through. And 9, use the breath. And 10, last 4 reps. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. So last set of shoulders. So taking those weights up above the head, using that breath. And 2, good, nice and strong. And 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, nearly halfway through, and 7, and 8, nearly there, and 9, and 10, last 4 reps, and 4, and 3, and 2, big breath, and coming down. So that set is finished, and we are going into our glute bridge and bicep curl. So teaching points for the glute bridge are, let me just assume position on the floor. So with the glute bridge, we are focusing on our glutes, but we're also working our hamstrings as well. So we are here, feet hip width apart, keeping our lower back pressed into the floor. And we are pushing through the heels and lifting the hips up. As we're lifting up, we're squeezing through the glutes. So nice squeeze at the top, slowly rolling down. 3, 2, 1. So driving up. 1, 3, 2, 1. And 2, 3, 2, 1. With our bicep curls, again, it's quite an easy exercise. However, we really want to concentrate on the tempo. So making sure that we are elongating the arms at a nice speed, and then really utilizing the heaviness of the weights on the way up. So just to show you what that looks like, we are going to start at the top here. 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's the way that we're going to go through it. So with the glute bridge, what you can do is you can either do it with no weight, or you can pop the weight onto your hips. So it'll be in this position here. So it should sit quite nicely on your hip bones. And I'll come down and we'll go through our first set. So feet are hip width apart and the dumbbell sitting nicely on our hips. So we don't really want it on our belly. We want to push it down so that it's on our hip bones. So let's go for it. First set, 14 reps. So driving the hips up, and 1, 3, 2, 1, and 2, hips high as you can, squeezing those glutes. And 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4, big squeeze. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1, and 8, 3, 2, 1, and 9, good, we're nearly there, and 10, last 4 reps, so pushing those hips as high as you can, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So let's go straight into our biceps. So grabbing those weights and standing up nice and tall. I'll show you this one from the side actually, because it helps to kind of see the position that our elbows and our arms are in. So starting from here, dropping down here. And 1, little bend in the knees. And 2, and 3, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1, and 8, we're nearly there, and 9, 3, 2, 1, and 10. Last 4 reps, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. So let's have a little breather. Let's just talk about some of the teaching points for those 2 exercises. So with the glute bridge, we want to make sure that, as I said, the weight is on the hips and not on the belly, so we can roll it down just before we start our first rep and drive the hips up. What we can also do is, as we go through the exercise, for some of us, our heels will start to move away from our first position. So what we can do is just kind of shuffle them back a little bit more so that we can still get that drive up through those heels to squeeze the glutes. With the bicep curls, it's ensuring that you have a little bit of space between the feet and you've got a little bend in the knees. Just for those last reps when it starts to get a bit hard, you can really engage that core and you can really push down through the feet and really utilize that stability you have in the feet to really get those final reps. So we'll give it 1 more minute and then we'll go into our final set, and then we'll have a nice little cool down and we can relax a little bit at the end of the session. So it's getting pretty hot in here, and I'm sure it's getting pretty hot for you too. So last set that we're gonna do, and then we can just cool down the body and just feel like we're connected and finish in a nice way. So let's go for our glute bridge on the floor. So we are here and we're gonna roll the dumbbell away a little bit and make sure our heels are as close to our bum as possible. And then we're gonna drive up. And 1, 3, 2, 1, and 2. So really big push. And 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, high as you can, squeezing those glutes, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1, and 8, we're nearly there, more than halfway through, and 9, 3, 2, 1, and 10, last 4 reps, so big push, driving up, 3, 2, 1, and 3, push through those heels, last 2, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Nice. So let's go into our bicep curls. What you can also do actually is, if you find that the weights that you're using are a bit too heavy to use for biceps, you can just use just one weight in both hands. So you can come up here, 3, 2, 1, here, like that. So exactly the same, just holding on to each side. So let's go for it. Last 14 reps of biceps. So we are here, relax knees, coming up, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and 5, and 6, 3, 2, 1, and 7, 3, 2, 1, and 8, we're nearly there, keeping that tempo, 3, 2, 1, and 10, good, last 4 reps, we're nearly there, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 3, 2, 1, and 2, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze it up. Nice. So let's have a little cool down and just release some of that tension through the body. So we're going to come down to the floor and we're just going to stretch through all the areas that we put quite a bit of tension through today. So we're going to stretch out the left leg and we're going to lift the right one. We're going to clasp behind the knee and we're just going to slowly pull back towards us, just getting a little bit of a stretch in those hamstrings. To feel the stretch a little bit more, you can flex the foot and try and lift that heel closer towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bringing that leg a little bit closer to you. Left leg straight down on the floor. Deep breath in, and breathing out, and swapping legs over. So again, we're behind that knee, so pushing that heel closer towards the ceiling to get more of a stretch in the hamstring. But for some people, this will be enough. which is perfectly fine. So pushing up with the heel, deep breath in, trying to draw that leg a little bit closer. Deep breath in, breathing out. And then we are going to go for an arm stretch. So we're just going to sit cross-legged or on your knees if you find that comfortable. And we are going to go for an arm stretch. So we're taking our right arm over and our left hand is going to come just beyond the elbow and it's going to come up towards us here. So we're kind of curling under here and trying to drop that shoulder down. And we're stretching through our tricep, our shoulders and our biceps, which feels heavenly at the moment, especially after all the arms that we've done today. So deep breath in and breathing out, letting it go. Deep breath in and breathing out and letting it go. And swapping over. So again, the right arm is just going to come through here and the left arm is going to straighten out here. Deep breath in and you can breathe out. Let it go, let all the tension go. Deep breath in and breathing out. So we are finished of our day 3. So well done for getting it done and I will see you very soon for day 4.